Today I'm going to show you my father's favorite cookie, the Cocoa Drop. It comes from this cookbook from 1967 that my mother gave to me. Thank you, Mom. I love this cookbook. You can tell it's well loved. It's coming apart. It's been repaired. The cover is still coming apart, as you can see. That is the sign of a well-loved cookbook. This is the title page, 1967, the Culinary Arts Institute Encyclopedic Cookbook. I highly recommend it if you can find a copy. And she has lots of notes in here to save her pages and to keep other recipes. This is the drop cookie page, and the Cocoa Drop is on here. Now there's also a foundation drop cookie, which is more of a vanilla version of the Cocoa Drop. I've made that before too. It's very good. Cocoa Drop though, that one rules. So now this recipe calls for 1 cup of nuts. I've probably seriously been making this since I was 8 or 9 years old. Not once have I used the nuts. So if you do, let me know in the comments how that turned out for you. Also, this recipe calls for cake flour. I have used cake flour. It gives the cookie a lighter, crisper, airier texture, I guess, but I prefer the dense texture that I get when I use all-purpose flour, so that's what I've chosen to use. Now, I recommend you use a stand mixer with a paddle attachment for these cookies, otherwise your arm is going to get very, very tired because this dough is pretty dense. You're going to need 1 cup of shortening, 1 1/3 cups of brown sugar, a couple of eggs, 1 cup of milk, 2 1/2 teaspoons of vanilla, 3 to 4 cups of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of salt, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, and 3/4 cups of cocoa powder. Now you can add a cup of nuts as well if you would like. Okay, so we're preheating our oven to 350 degrees, and the first thing we're going to do is mix our shortening and brown sugar together. So I'm going to lift up my mixer bowl and turn it on here. We're going to start out lower. It is pretty loud, but that's okay, it's doing the magic. Once it starts to mix, I'm going to turn it up higher. Turning it up higher will cream the ingredients together, giving us a smooth texture. Okay, now that we've creamed that together, you can see the texture that we've gotten from it. We're going to add in the eggs and beat them well. Okay, we're beating our eggs to incorporate them into the dough, and next we're going to alternate our wet ingredients with our dry ingredients. So I've poured my vanilla into my milk to make a milk mixture, and I've combined my flour, baking powder, and salt for my dry mixture. I'm going to leave my cocoa powder out separately, though it does make quite a bit of a mess if you add it in with the flour. Okay, we've beaten in our eggs. I'm going to just scrape the sides down here real quick with a little spatula. And now we're going to alternate our wet and dry ingredients. All right, I'm going to add about 1/3 of my milk and vanilla mixture. And I'm going to give it just a little mix. And I'm going to keep it off when I add dry ingredients because otherwise you will have cocoa powder and flour flying in your face. We don't want that. So about 1/3 of my cocoa powder and about 1/3 of my flour, baking powder, and salt mixture. Now to start out, I'm just going to pulse this on low because I want it to start to incorporate before it flies everywhere. And then we can let it go a little. Okay, and now another 1/3 of our milk and vanilla mixture, another 1/3 of our dry ingredients. And just eyeball, it doesn't have to be exact. We just want to kind of put it in 3 sessions. And again, I'm going to pulse that, wipe this off of here because it will go flying. And I've made a very big mess of my kitchen before, so trust me, you want to go slowly and pulse. Now we're okay. Starting to come together. Okay, now I'm going to add the rest of my milk and vanilla and the rest of my cocoa powder. And I've added the rest of my flour mixture. I'm gonna pulse. That should be good. Now we can let it mix. So I'm just gonna mix it until everything comes together, and then I'll determine if I need more flour. I used about 3 cups. Okay, so you can see from the texture here, take a little bit off, it's pretty wet, pretty wet. Since it's pretty wet, I'm gonna add another 1/2 cup of flour. And I'm gonna pulse that in and then let it mix through. Now you can hear that my mixer is struggling a little because of all that density. That's why your hand will get very tired if you don't use a mixer. And that's it. Now, if you wanted to put nuts in, you would add them here and you would just fold them in. You wouldn't put them in with the mixer. You would just fold them in with your spatula or a spoon. Now you can see from my texture, it's still moist, but it's a little more like Play-Doh, like moist Play-Doh. And that's what we're looking for. Now, what we're gonna do, you can use a cookie scoop, an ice cream, small ice cream scoop. I like to just use regular kitchen teaspoon, one of your smaller spoons from your silverware set. That's what I like to use. We're just going to scoop up kind of like a heaping teaspoonful, like that. We're going to put it onto a parchment lined or sprayed tray. You don't want them to stick, and you don't need to worry about spacing them apart because these cookies actually do not spread. So I'm just going to continue to do about a heaping teaspoonful, set it on my tray. And I'm going to fill this tray up, and I should be able to get another tray without a problem as well. Okay, this tray is ready to go into the oven. As you can see, I really didn't space them apart, but like I said, you don't need to. They will not spread. They're going to bake for about 12 minutes, though I check them after 10 because I don't like my cocoa drops to be dried out. And they're done. As you can see, the bottoms have browned a little, and I'm going to store them in an airtight container for 3 days if they last that long, which they probably won't. But you don't want to keep them much longer than that. Okay, they're done. Let's give it a taste. It tastes a little saltiness and a lot of chocolatiness. The inside, smooth, chewy. It's really good. I hope you'll try this. Let me know in the comments if you've made this recipe, and did you use the nuts? Did you use the cake flour? How did it turn out for you? I hope you love them as much as my family does. Please like and subscribe to follow me for more recipes and cooking tips.